you've worked in hospitality for any length of time, then you've had those weeks. The ones where your days feel like one long game of whack-a-mole. A problem pops up here, you jump on it. Another one there, you run over and you sort it out. And before you know it, the whole week's gone and you've barely touched the things that actually move your business forward. The truth is, firefighting feels productive. You're busy, you're moving, you're fixing things, but over time it burns you out and it trains your business to depend on you for every single problem. And the only way out isn't working harder. It's scheduling in a way that prevents fires from starting in the first place. Welcome to the Lead Well channel, where we help hospitality leaders protect their well-being, lead with clarity, and build businesses that don't break them. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how I broke out of constant firefighting by scheduling my week in a way that protects my energy and gives my business a better leader. If that sounds like the shift that you've been needing, let's dive in. My life in firefighting mode. Hi, I'm Trevor. I've run a successful restaurant and cocktail bar for years, but I didn't come from hospitality. I built it from scratch, learning on the job, taking the knocks and trying to keep the whole thing from falling apart as I went along. For a long time, my version of running the business was actually just reacting to it. If something broke, I fixed it. If someone called in sick, I covered it. If the kitchen was in the weeds, I jumped on the pass. It didn't matter what was on my own list for the day, the business called, so I answered. And I told myself that's what good owners do. But over time, I realized I wasn't running the business was running me. I was constantly in motion, but I wasn't actually moving forward. I was exhausted, my creativity was gone, and my confidence took a hammering. One week in particular stands out. I had planned to finally tackle a long overdue systems update, something that would have saved me and my team hours every single week. But by Friday, it still wasn't done. Instead, I'd spent the week patching holes, chasing and missing stock, covering last minute rota gaps, sorting out supplier mistakes, and even unblocking a toilet. And by the end of the week, I felt like I'd given everything, but had nothing to show for it. That's when I realized firefighting isn't leadership, it's survival. And I was tired of surviving. Before we get into how to break that cycle, I've got a free resource that will make this a whole lot easier. My weekly wellness and operations planner. It's the exact tool I now use to structure my week so there's room for both the business and for me. It helps you plan your priorities, block your non-negotiables, and review what's working so you stop getting swallowed by urgent problems and actually make progress. If you want it, drop the word plan in the comments and I'll send it to you. You carry a lot and you deserve the tools and the support to carry it well. Why scheduling beats firefighting? Here's the thing, firefighting feels urgent, but it's actually a distraction. It tricks you into thinking that you're doing work when all you're doing is clearing the debris from the last fire. Scheduling flips that on its head. It's about making intentional choices ahead of time so you're not stuck reacting all week. And in hospitality, that's not about blocking out your diary in 15-minute increments. It's about designing a rhythm that protects your energy and keeps your business moving forward. When I started scheduling with intention, the biggest change wasn't just fewer fires, it was that my brain finally had space to think beyond the next 5 minutes. I could actually lead instead of just manage. Step 1, start with your energy, not your to-do list. Most leaders plan their week backwards. They start with tasks and squeeze themselves in last, if at all. I flip that. Now, before I even look at my calendar, I check in with myself. How am I feeling right now? Am I drained, amped up, or somewhere in between? What's been weighing on me? What's been giving me energy? If I'm already starting the week at a 3 out of 10, I know I need to scale back where I can. If I'm at an 8, I can push a bit more. That simple check stops me from building weeks that look good on paper but wreck me in reality. This is where the weekly wellness and operations planner is gold. It forces you to have that energy check-in before you start loading up your schedule. Step 2, lock in your non-negotiables. Once I know my energy levels, I block the things out that must happen, both for the business and for me personally. That means payroll deadlines, supplier calls, team meetings, but it also means my morning routine, exercise, and downtime. And here's the thing, the personal ones go in first. If you don't block them, they'll get bulldozed out by the business. This is also where I link back to something that we covered in series 1, my morning routine. If you haven't seen that video yet, I'll leave it a link somewhere on the screen now. That routine became the anchor that stopped my days from starting in chaos. Step 3, decide your leadership priorities. Firefighting happens when everything feels like it's your responsibility. Scheduling with intention means deciding in advance where your leadership energy is going this week. That could be training a new manager, fixing a communication breakdown between front of house and back of house, streamlining a process that's caused repeat issues. If it's not in my top 1 or 2 priorities for the week, it either gets delegated, delayed, or deleted. When I started doing this, my weeks became much calmer, not because the problems went away, but because I wasn't trying to solve all of them at once. Step 4, build in buffers. One of the biggest mistakes I made as a leader was scheduling myself back to back with no recovery time in between. In hospitality, you can go from a slam lunch service straight into a difficult staff meeting and then chasing invoices, then to a private hire event, all without taking a breath. The problem is transitions require recovery. If you keep going without space between intense tasks, you're not giving your brain a chance to reset. That's when decision fatigue creeps in, tempers shorten, and mistakes happen. Now, I intentionally leave 30 to 60-minute buffer blocks between high energy or high stress commitments. Sometimes I walk, sometimes I grab a tea and just sit quietly. Sometimes I use that time to prep mentally for what's coming next. If 30 to 60 minutes feels impossible, even 10 to 15 minutes can make a difference. It's not wasted time, it's maintenance time. And without it, you're basically running a marathon at sprint pace every single day. Step 5. Schedule reset time, not just output. This is the part most leaders skip. They fill their schedules with tasks, deadlines, and meetings, but there's no room to recover. Reset time isn't about doing nothing, it's about doing the things that bring you back to center. And that could be a quiet coffee before service, a midweek afternoon off to recharge, a long walk before a big decision day. For me, it's often a solo lunch somewhere quiet with no phone or some breath work. The point is, this time is planned. It's not something you try to grab in the scraps of your day, because those scraps rarely come. When I first started building reset time into my week, I worried it would make me less productive. The opposite happened. I started making better decisions, showing up calmer for my team, and having more energy for the work that actually mattered. Step 6. Midweek review and realignment. Even the best schedules get wrecked by reality, and that's why I take 15 minutes every Wednesday to check in on my week. What's gone to plan, what's been derailed, what's no longer relevant. This isn't about beating yourself up or not sticking to your plan. It's about adapting so that you can finish your week strong. In hospitality, things change quickly. Staff quit, bookings spike or drop, suppliers mess up, and if you don't adjust your schedule to match reality, you end up trying to execute a plan that no longer fits your circumstances. And that's a fast track back to firefighting. A simple midweek tweak can save you from burning out in the second half of your week. Step 7. Delegate with intention. One of the biggest sources of constant firefighting is holding on to tasks that you shouldn't be doing. I've been guilty of this more times than I'd like to admit. Sometimes it's about control, thinking no one else will be able to do it right. Sometimes it's a habit, you've always done it, so you just keep on doing it. And sometimes it's trust, you haven't built enough confidence in your team yet to let go. The weekly wellness operations planner is perfect for spotting these because it lets you list out your weekly tasks in one place. From there, you can highlight the ones that could be delegated to a team member, systemized with a checklist or a template, outsourced completely. Every task you remove from your plate frees up time and energy for the work only you can do, the leadership work. Step 8, protect your boundaries. Here's something I wish I'd learned earlier. Scheduling isn't just about what goes into your calendar, it's about what stays out of it. That means setting boundaries on when you're contactable, how last minute changes are handled, what types of problems need you and which don't. For me, this looked like introducing a rule that after 8 p.m. I was offline. If something truly urgent came up, my managers had a direct way to reach me, but everything else could wait till morning. It also meant training my team to solve certain problems without me. That's not about being unavailable, it's about being a leader who trusts their people. Why scheduling is leadership, not laziness. Early on, I thought planning ahead was a bit self-indulgent. I felt like my job was to be on all the time, ready to react for whatever happened. But now I see it differently. Scheduling is leadership. It's saying, I'm not going to let the loudest problem in the room dictate my whole week. It's not about doing less, it's about doing the right things at the right time in the right state of mind. Firefighting might make you feel needed, but scheduling makes you effective. When you put these steps together, starting with your energy, blocking non-negotiables, setting clear leadership priorities, building in buffers, scheduling reset time, reviewing midweek and delegating with intention, and of course protecting your boundaries, something changes. You stop being the person who's always running to catch up. You start being the leader who sees what's coming and chooses how to meet it. And here's the thing, you don't have to do this perfectly. I certainly don't. Some weeks my schedule gets wrecked by the second day. Some weeks I forget my own rules, but the difference now is I have a framework to return to. I'm not building from scratch every Monday. That's what stops you from slipping back into survival mode, the habit of returning to structure, no matter what the week throws at you. The emotional shift. This isn't just about ticking boxes on a calendar, it's about how it feels to lead. When you plan with your well-being in mind, you make calmer, more considered decisions. You have more patience with your team and your customers. You recover faster from setbacks and you feel more like yourself outside of work. That last one is huge because if you're only ever the boss, you eventually forget who you are beyond the business. For me, this structure gave me space to be a better husband, a better friend, and a better version of myself. If any of this resonates with you, your next step is simple. Just try it. Take the weekly wellness and operations planner and use it to map out the next 7 days, not for perfection, but for awareness. See where the pressure points are, see where you can build in buffers, and see what you're holding on to that you could delegate. If you want the planner, just drop the word plan in the comments and I'll send it to you for free. You don't have to run your business like it's an endless emergency. You can create space for yourself without sacrificing your standards. You can lead from a place of clarity instead of a place of chaos. Scheduling isn't about being rigid, it's about being ready for the work, for the people who rely on you, and for your own life outside of it. I'm still on this journey myself. I'm not perfect at it and I don't get it right every week, but I've come far enough along to know this. When you protect your time, you protect yourself. And you matter too, don't forget that.